Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are back with LSW2 free play. This is going to be a race between Saber and Rapho, the top two runners in the GameCube category for this category on the leaderboards. And of course, they will be starting on Jedi Destiny. And so, I guess whenever they're ready, I guess just head into the text crawl, and we'll give you a countdown. Seed, if you want to do the countdown.
Yeah, sure. I guess their streams are a little bit behind in what we are seeing. So, go into test rolls, and you can start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and start.
All right. So there's a lot to talk about because this is a very broken category in a game that is already very broken.
And time will start when they skip the crawl, by the way.
Yeah.
So like a couple seconds
Like
from now.
basically when they gain control. So again, LSW2, this is the original trilogy, which means they're going to be playing episode 4, 5, and 6, and that's it. So we're going to be starting on episode 6 and then ending on episode 4. Yeah, Rapho stream is a little delayed, so we'll have to account for that later. But
yeah, it looks like a 5-second difference.
Wow, this is really good from Saber. Oh my god, did you see that?
Yeah,
that's really, really good. And that looks really good
close
from Rapho as well. Oh my god, that is so not what I expected to happen. So that level is really, really hard in this game, because you can't attack the Emperor to make him block. And despite the fact that you have Grievous, which does make it a little bit easier to push him, you have to push him a great deal of distance from the staircase at the beginning of the level, so it's definitely not easy.
Yeah, also
so that's
something
a really good start.
Yeah, something you might also be wondering about is why did they get Grievous? This is LSW2, this is not the prequels. So this game has an extra, it's called Use Old Save, and what this extra does is it unlocks characters from LEGO Star Wars 1. Yeah, LEGO Star Wars the video game, and it unlocks basically most of the characters. It unlocks Droideka, Grievous, and those are the most important ones for us.
Yeah, and that will be most important in Destiny. I don't actually think we use Grievous anywhere else in the run.
Yeah, I do not believe so.
But of course, Droideka, if you're ever familiar with any LEGO Star Wars free play games, whether it's TCS, LSW1, LSW2, even LSW3, Droideka is in all of them because he's so fast, and he will be the movement character, so to speak. And so these first couple levels are really not that broken. That is, of course, assuming you already know about the fact that you can skip the entirety of Jedi Destiny by pushing the Emperor off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because normally that level is supposed to be a long fight. He has 18 hearts, and instead you can just kill him because I guess they assumed that the death plane would be too far away from where the Emperor spawns in to be able to get him all the way over there and push him off.
Now the score is a little bit different in this game than in the complete saga, for example. You'll see that they're not trying to 1P2C this because 1P2Cing this is actually like not even fast and really, really bad to pull off. And looks like Saber got a really good core here. They're also doing a really interesting route. And Rapho just missed the cycle.
Another thing about ships in this game is that the TIE Fighter, I believe the TIE Fighter is the fastest ship, but like very, very slightly. And so you'll kind of see that, in the complete saga, they get to use the pod racer, which is super fast, but that is not carried over, I guess, into this game. I mean,
yeah, well, yeah, the LEGO Star Wars 1 vehicle levels are very bare bones.
That's true.
They don't even have free play, so that's why they didn't really bring this.
That makes sense. Yeah, there's no free play in pod race. But yeah, so because of that, they're going to be using the TIE Fighter for movement quite a bit. And that fortunately, the next level is where it starts to get very, very broken. One thing to note is that Yoda, who we will be using in this next level, Yoda is just extremely broken in every LEGO Star Wars game. But in this game, it's quite interesting because his specifically his slam animation lets you kind of clip into like a ton of different walls and floor, like ceilings and floors and stuff. Because when he slams, his hitbox goes all the way up to the top of his slam, and so I think you'll see that in. I guess it would probably be the third room is the first place you'll see it. And
Yeah.
I mean, you'll just see it, but yeah, like switching between Droideka and Yoda will allow you to change his hitbox in a lot of very odd ways. And by the way, these text crawls are long because, of course, we are on GameCube emulator, which is the boards are separated, but Xbox is the fastest platform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Xbox, on top of having the fastest loads for some reason, even though the PC version exists, PC has just slow loads for no reason. And yeah, Xbox just has super fast loads, and in addition to that, Xbox can do lag clips, which is why it's also the fastest.
That's right.
And yeah, this GCN is, I think it is currently the slowest platform, but it is the most
Yeah,
run around because it was the most accessible one for a while.
because PC is in between GameCube emulator and Xbox in terms of
Yeah.
loads.
The problem with PC was that we didn't figure out how to make it not crash until very, very recently. So, yeah, GCN is kind of the original version. Also, Saber got the camera pan movement. That was interesting.
Yeah, you can get that sometimes. This is probably a good time to mention. So, of course, yes, they are able to bring in the characters from LSW1, but what they cannot bring in are the extras, which means that there is no exploding blaster bolts. And so you're actually going to see them use a different extra for explosions, and that is Super Ewok Catapult,
Yeah.
which is actually the extra from this level. And that's going to allow Wicket to break a lot of this stuff, like this next gate here. You'll see Wicket can explode it with his, his catapult, which is
Yeah,
quite
it's
funny.
yeah, it's basically EVB, but only for Wicket and the Ewoks. So,
Yeah,
a very cool extra that it saves a couple of levels. Now this is the first kind of clip there.
it happens so
Really,
fast.
really
It's
fast.
hard to
Yeah.
tell what's happening, but I guess we can explain it as Rapho comes up to it. But first, I guess we'll turn our attention towards Saber's screen as he's going to do. I guess it's called bunker clip, bunker skip, whatever you want to call it. It allows you to just go and build these 4 bombs at the end of the level, which is the condition to end the level, which is not possible in TCS because those aren't buildable normally until you pull all 4 levers. But in this game, which obviously came out beforehand, they kind of had an oversight where maybe they didn't realize, well, if you just clip in there, you could just end the level skipping an entire minute-long room in free play, really, maybe
Hmm.
even longer. And that first clip that he did to get into the bunker is just a factor of Yoda and Droideka's hitboxes being so weird. You can kind of just clip anywhere you want in this game if there's a ceiling. Uh, Anywhere there's a ceiling, you can pretty much clip. So
Yeah, it's really, really nice. The other clips are not as OP as in TCS, just because you need to clip out on the end of the slam animation during them rather than in the middle of it.
right,
But it is still really OP. And now you will see a uh, this game's version of the free play speeder skip.
yes,
Usually in TCS we see Grievous, but here you're gonna use the Emperor, which for some reason uh, can triple jump really, really high in this
and he
game.
does.
And
Yeah, it's sort of like a wall climb. It's
yeah.
hard to explain. I think what it is that there's a little piece of collision where
Hmm.
which is supposed to be the wall that you can't get over. But for some reason, yeah, the Emperor has this ridiculously high triple jump, which we'll also see later in Bespin. Um, and it just allows them to completely skip this gate on the left side. And platform though is pretty standard. It's almost exactly the same as the any percent platform
Hmm.
would be. But yeah, this level is quite interesting. I think when people watch this run for the first time, one of the levels where they most, frequently get thrown off is this one because you're just like Emperor player 1, or player 2, I guess. It's very
Hmm.
out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I was quite weirded out by the fact that they, like, when I was first watching this run, that they bring Emperor, but
Yeah.
makes sense after you watch it. And yeah,
And
that's
there's a
speeder.
few levels where they'll bring Emperor in. I know Bespin. Yeah, there's another one I can't remember what it is. But yeah, so the next level, of course, is Carcoon, and my favorite part of that level is you'll see it in the first room. But the nice thing about this game is because it came out earlier than TCS, you're actually going to see a lot of stuff that you can't skip in TCS that you can skip in this game because they just hadn't really fixed it yet. And that
Shoutouts to
will be very
Saber almost taking Admiral Akbar to this level.
I would have preferred that, honestly. So yeah, Saber's about to do it here because it's very early into the room.
This is also presumably really easy. I actually never did this trick because I didn't know it
very
existed.
easy. It's very easy.
But if you just triple jump from this ship to there, there's just an invisible floor, and you can fly over there.
No one knows why. It's just there.
There's no reason for anything to be there, but there is something there.
So no leverless from Saber, which will give a little bit of an opportunity for Rapho to make up some time here. Let's turn our attention towards his screen and see if he goes for it. I know he does it in his PB, but of course it's a race, and they are trying to win. But he is going to go for it. That's probably not going to work. Yeah, you need a pretty good edge jump generally. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. There's a better line, though. Yeah, that can happen. We should get a respawn, yeah.
Yeah. So now, Saber did this game's version of the elevator skip that doesn't work the same as TCS. You will see this Rapho do this in a second. Basically, like you kind of mentioned that during the Kaiser race, the second room of this level, the elevator room, is they actually thought about you jumping into the transition early, so they prevented you from doing that in this game. So you need to kind of clip on the side and then jump into the transition from the top.
And this clip is really hard. Wow, first try from Rapho. Excellent, yeah.
I would say that's one of the hardest tricks.
I think it's the hardest one, yeah.
Might be, honestly, yeah.
And then this clip is just another one of those slam corner clips. And as you may have seen on Saber's screen a little earlier, fortunately, you can just super Ewok catapult right through this. And you don't actually need to open these to blow them up, which will make this platform quite fast.
Yeah.
And Jabba's at the beginning. Unfortunately, you cannot clip out here and get out of bounds. Also, this section is just
this level awkward. This level in free play is where Xbox is a ton faster because Xbox can actually line clip with Yoda to Droideka through walls, so you can just like clip through any wall. And you can skip both of those like gates in this level. But this is a very quick level nonetheless.
Yeah, so this first trick, big trick I would say in this level is going to be in the corner here. He's going to do a slam clip and he's going to switch. Okay, so he's actually going to do the R2 version, whereas what we'll probably see from Rapho is he's probably going to do a slam, and instead of switching to Droideka, he's going to switch to Boba and just fly directly across. And it just allows you to cut off so much of that room. For
thing is,
the longest room in the
you don't always get Boba Fett in this level, which is a problem.
Yeah, well, I think Rapho got it. That's why I was
okay.
But yeah, so he did get him. So sometimes you get Leia Bush instead, I believe, as your bounty hunter, which is what happened to Saber, I think. And actually, the reason, but he probably didn't even notice that he got Boba. But anyway, the reason that's even possible is because the way that the game generates your character wheel is that instead of generating your bounty hunter after or before your blaster character, it generates your blaster character before your bounty hunter. So it's kind of hard to explain, but basically you don't have a guaranteed, chance of getting Boba every time.
Yeah.
And this clip that Rapho just did is kind of risky, right? Of course, because you're breaking the torch as you go for that clip. So it's technically a one try, but you do have two torches that you can do it with. And as you
another clip here.
This the Rancor warp. I mean, most people probably know about it if they're familiar with Lego speedrunning. But if you're not, you basically just skip that entire room and warp directly into this fight from a trigger that shouldn't even be there in the first place. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah. So that's the first episode of this run done, episode 6. Now we're gonna go to episode 5. Also gonna play this level or play this episode backwards. So starting with Bespin.
Right, and
yeah, Emperor.
Emperor will be used here, and that's because in this first room, when we're exiting the room, what we want to do is get a really high triple jump, because the transition for the elevator is actually not at the top of the room. It's actually a little bit below the ceiling, which means that we can just fall into it, and you'll see that in a second here.
Yeah, also Grand Theft Falcon, which is the trick to skip the final end platform, does not work in this game for an unknown reason.
Same with Falcon, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it's because of the way split splines work.
Maybe.
But
yeah, you can see that
Saber
he just
actually went for the other strat where you just go over the elevator. You don't actually need to do that. But yeah, you can see the massive height from those Emperor triple jumps. It's so crazy to be, even when running this game, it just doesn't make sense. And so wow, Saber did that really fast. That's a much riskier version of it. What we'll probably see Rapho do is go into the corner and then line up a straight triple jump directly up into the air. But this is a really good investment from Saber. See, and he's gonna. Okay, this is a great time to talk about that tech that Saber just used. So unlike TCS as well, you actually have the ability to slam at any point during your double jump, which means that you can triple jump as late as you want, and that's actually going to allow you to get a triple jump with way more distance than you would otherwise, because it basically gives you a third jump that you can space out. But
that was an insane Bespin. Wow.
Really, really good. Let's see how this clip goes for Rapho. Yeah, as you can see, he does this sort of setup in the corner. It's a little bit slower. But yeah, Saber showing us he's here to play. This is a pretty good run from Saber as well. I mean, honestly, I think after I saw them both get like perfect Jedi Destinies, I kind of figured this would be pretty solid gameplay for both of them. I'm excited because we get to see my favorite level of the run now here in CCT. Oh, that's a cool 1P2C. I've never seen that actually. So yeah, this window you can actually just jump through, which is quite nice. But they will have to blow this door up with Wicket. And this, unfortunately, you cannot skip this. You do have to actually use the panel. And so now, is Saber going to go for this? Okay, he is. Oh, this is a very, very hard trick.
Just barely doesn't make it, yeah.
Actually, this is probably the hardest trick in the run, now that I think about it. Now he doesn't need to do it. It's all just to save that camera pan that you saw just play there, which, of course, isn't even that long. But at this level, they're going to really go for everything, every bit of time save they can get.
Yeah, if Rapho gets this, that might give him a chance to catch up a little bit.
He's really good at this level as well.
Mm-hmm.
Saber's also kind of struggling a little bit with DV2 skip. Does get it there eventually. It's a little awkward in free play.
Yeah, you need to clip out of bounds, but you need to not walk far enough forwards to not fall down.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
But yeah, an opportunity for Rapho to save a little bit of time here. Not the
messing up that jump.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, missing a slash too.
And I guess we should also point out the reason he's hitting him with Vader is because, as you saw there, Yoda's jump slash goes ridiculously far. Which actually means, by the way, I think Rapho got that first try.
Yeah, I got it really quickly.
But struggling a little bit with this. Yeah, I just needed to switch a little earlier. But you can see Rapho's very practiced in this level. He goes very, very fast. And yeah, so Yoda, in terms of damage, is not really used very often, at least for those boss fights, just because of his slash animation being so weird. Okay, this platform has been a mess for both of them.
Yeah,
DB4 really.
Not sure what happened here.
But we are into Dagobah for Saber, and the nice thing about Dagobah is that with just the way that the collision works, you can kind of just do whatever you want in this level. There's really no limitations, as you saw. He can just completely skip that button section. He can even triple jump to skip this. He does need a really spaced triple jump, which is why you saw him miss the double jump entirely there. But yeah, he got it on the second try.
Yeah, this is a really cool level. It's all movement based. No boss fights here. So
Right. Well, there's supposed to be one here, but
yeah, but
there
you
will
don't play
not be
one.
one. You'll see him clip with the box on the right side of the end of the cave in the fight, which is not the easiest, but does save a lot of time. And there's actually a number of ways to skip this room, but this is the fastest.
Yeah, this is the fastest because, like we said, you cannot clip like anywhere. So the TCS clip, for example, doesn't work.
That was good though.
That was good, yeah.
Yeah, nicely done.
So here, I believe he's gonna jump here.
Yeah. So this is hard. By the way, Rapho did get the. Oh wow, nice. Okay, so Saber gets that second try. Rapho again with opportunity to save a little bit here, but for the most part, they've been about even. And as you saw there, luckily in this game we can just explode that gate at the end. In story, you actually have to use self-destruct on R2, but fortunately we have Super Ewok Catapult.
Yeah.
If we did not have Super Ewok Catapult in this category, we would have to use self-destruct for everything, which would maybe make it a little more interesting. But
yeah, it would just be a little bit slower. 2 seconds lost per every self-destruct, basically.
Yep. And coming into Falcon Flight, you might be panicking because everyone hates this level, but luckily in this game, it's not that bad. It's definitely not great, but the torpedo targeting in this game is okay. It's much more like, I guess I want to say, natural.
Yeah.
Like, when you shoot a torpedo at a target, it will probably hit.
There's also this saying, and in this game, it's impossible to get a bad boulder. Basically, it's always good.
Yeah,
almost always.
but
Or at least it's
it can
mid.
be like marginally better sometimes. But
Yeah.
You won't really get absolutely destroyed by the boulder. This is also really the only like boring part of this run is this level.
Also, we have some strat variations. We saw Saber
true,
to only one player this first room of Falcon Flight. Rapho is choosing to do 1P2C, which obviously it is a little bit faster, but didn't really seem like he saved a lot of time with it.
Like around even or maybe a little bit slower. It is interesting. Rapho always had the reputation when he only ran this game, he had the reputation of not being like a 1P2C guy and more focused on like the technical one player movement. But since he sort of started running TCS and like, other categories and stuff, I think he got a lot better at his 1P2C, and you can see that, in his gameplay. Whereas Saber, on the other hand, started in a primarily 1P2C environment. So it's was probably more natural for him to start out with.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I mean, the old Xbox World Record especially didn't do a lot of 1P2C, X free play record obviously.
That's right.
Just did a lot of 1P2C, but then after Rapho just started exploring more games, yeah, a lot of 1P2C is implemented now in this speedrun. And let's see this boulder from Saber.
And Rapho's a big like optimization person. He likes to do ILs. He likes to really grind like the tiniest pieces of movement and like save those frames, which I think is why he's so good at this category. And that was a I would call that an average boulder for Saber. I mean, it's really always going to look like that unless you get like super super lucky.
It did miss he fired one torpedo that went nowhere, and that was like the only mistake.
Yeah, the pathfinding on the torpedoes is much better in this game, but the targeting is actually like a little bit worse. And Saber is going to be entering Echo Base, which is maybe the most broken level. I think it might even be the hardest level. This is a very tough level in this category.
Why is this boulder not moving?
I don't know. I mean, it's not working out terribly.
Well,
if you could get this, yeah,
I have never seen a slower boulder.
That is probably the slowest boulder I've ever seen. I mean, hey, it was fine. It was about the same as Saber's. Also, Saber gets
Mhm.
that first clip on the left. This clip is difficult. Wow, nice. Yeah, I mean, they're very, very good at these Yoda clips. It might look simple, but I promise you, they're very
Yeah,
difficult.
he makes it
For
look
all the
so
different
easy. And if
Yeah,
you've ran this, you know that these are not
yep.
easy clips.
That clip is easy though.
Yeah, that one is. That one is.
So yeah, you for some reason you can just use Yoda's small hitbox to sort of push Droideka into the transition there to skip that room. And
Mhm.
for whatever reason, it's crazy. Of all the clips you can't do in this game, this is the one you cannot skip this specific door, which I
Yeah.
think is kind of funny. But you can skip this door, oddly enough, because the transition just extends above the door. Wow,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
also kind of a
a really good echo base from Saber. That was like perfect.
Yeah, it's also like kind of a pattern between TCS and the first two LEGO Star Wars games. Is in these first two games, transitions are like extended really far out of bounds in some places, just because I guess they didn't really bother
Yeah,
in like
it's lazy.
shrinking them. Hmm.
But yeah, and you saw at the end of that level as well, Saber was able to just walk into the Falcon. Unlike DSE and Bespin, that door is already loaded in. So as long as you touch the transition, you will finish the level. And luckily, in free play, we can just do a slash to clip in there pretty easily. But we see Saber struggling a little bit with this clip. This is definitely the hardest clip in the level. Third try though, it's not terrible. Saber has someone on his bomb. Oh, I've completely forgot. This is like horrible in this game. Like
Yeah,
the probe droids do not get off of your bombs.
it is supposed to be also a mechanic in TCS where the probe droids can get on your bombs, but it's really like it's really nerfed in TCS.
Yeah, yeah.
And here you'll see the first barrier skip just by switching to the Imperial Shuttle.
Yeah, the Imperial shuttle, its animation when flipping and the fact that it gets so much height in the air will allow it to skip that barrier really, really easily. And of course, like I said, we don't have LSW1 extras. So we are just going to be using 2 Millennium Falcons and holding the attack button. So not much to see on the right side of your screen, but we can see if Rapho is a better room one. So far, it looks like he is. And I guess it's important to mention, as you can see, the bomb, like collision, or I guess like engine in this game is very finicky. So if you are dragging a bomb in the wrong direction, it's very hard to like redirect it. Um, so that room can actually be quite tricky.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait,
Also, Rapho's doing the fastest version of
that's
the barrier
I didn't even know that
skips.
existed. That's not even in record.
Mm.
It's like a small optimization, I guess. That's cool. And yeah, now we're just gonna see. Luckily, we'll be seeing Saber do a little bit more interesting part of this room, um, with the AT-ATs, 1P2 seeing them.
Oh, he got Y288. Nice.
He did. That actually saves a ridiculous amount of time in this game because you have even like less movement speed
Mm-hmm.
on your ships. And yeah, so
Ooh, yeah,
you can
that
see he's
bomb.
like really setting up to pull these bombs properly because they're so hard to control. But that was really well done by Saber. This is like really good gameplay from Saber right now. I mean, he
Yeah, I
hasn't really
mean,
made many mistakes.
yeah, I mean, from both of them, really. Rapho just had that
Yeah,
Carcoon thing.
yeah, that's true. And then we see Saber coming into this last wave where he'll have to do a little bit more shooting and one more bomb to grab. For whatever reason, despite the fact that you get some characters from LCW1, you do not get the gunship. I guess because you don't really get ships from that game since there's no free play.
Yeah.
And so the snowspeeder is actually significantly slower.
It's also the only vehicle that can pick up bombs, I think.
Yeah. No, so there's the Naboo Starfighter,
I mean, in this game.
but you don't have that. Actually, do you have that? I don't think you have that in this game
In
because
this
that's
game,
from
no.
you don't even have that in
That's
LCW1, I think.
yeah, no, that's from Anakin's flight.
Yeah, that's from
So,
Anakin's Flight. That's true. But yeah, the three are the gunship, the Naboo Starfighter, and the Snowspeeder. For whatever reason, I do not know why that is even a thing.
now we're on to episode 4, the final episode of this category. So we're now done with the 2 out of 3 episodes. And yeah, this one is the.
I think
Is
Rapho
really,
is
really
ahead,
good.
or Saber is ahead of record right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does he have the run?
I'm just confused because he exited Hoth at 27:53, but his PB exits at 27:52. But he's like behind, or like his stream is like delayed because it said he got a 20-second Destiny, but that Destiny was probably like a 12 or a 13.
Yeah.
So I think he's ahead of record.
That would be nice.
That would be
Also,
something that I'm not expecting at all. I mean, you can see the gameplay though; it is really, really solid right now from Saber. Ooh, and as I say that, that was a close one. But he does get that room 3 out of bounds, which is very, very punishing to miss, of course, because they do an out of bounds in room 2 to get over to room 3, which means that that door isn't open. So if you miss the out of bounds, you're going to have to go all the way back around and do it again.
Probably one of my least favorite things about this game is that room 3 skip, like how punishing it is.
Yeah.
Especially in any percent.
But we'll see Rapho do it differently, I believe. He's going to use a slower ship to make sure that he's just to play it safer, I would say.
Yeah, probably the Y-Wing, because that one has no movement. Or no idle movement, I guess.
I mean, if the timer were to be correct, he would be 2 seconds behind his PB, but he's definitely like faster than the timer says.
Yeah, I think that's the case. So now we're on to, or Saber's onto DSC. And like we mentioned on Bespin, Falconless does not work in this game. So they are gonna have to do the whole last room, like a really cool 1P2C to be able to finish it.
It is unfortunate though, because in this game the end room is like so much worse.
You've
got like a couple really annoying gimmicks in that end room with like. Well, fortunately, they will be able to 1P2C the mouse droid buttons, but it's actually still kind of.
Yeah.
And this is the first one here in the level.
They really made this level cruel in this game because, like,
no.
Unfortunate. They do need you to use the carts, or a mouse droid, I guess. And the camera in the last room is just. I mean, the camera in this whole game is terrible, and in the last room where you need to 1P2C a lot is also just not friendly. So that's probably gonna cost him the record pace. But this is still really good.
So this is an interesting clip that I think I found this like a few years ago when I was just looking. Basically, the doors in this level are like just the perfect height to clip out at. So you actually see it here as well. And I guess we didn't even mention Mouse Droid is by far the fastest character in this game. It's not even close.
Yeah.
So you'll use him out of bounds as well, which is nice.
Yeah, but the thing is, you only get Mouse Droid in this level and the next one they're gonna play, so Princess.
And Destiny, technically, but
sorry.
You don't need that. But those are the 3 levels where he appears. I think it's only 3.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're gonna see Saber sort of just playing through this end room now. There isn't really much he can do to like skip a lot of the gameplay.
I will say though, this room is definitely better in free play than story, because in story you also need to free the droids, which not only is obviously slower, but it also like adds an annoying part to this, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we saw an oil glitch there. Yes, Saber's playing this risky. Does get it second try. We'll probably see Rapho set that one up.
And yeah, fun fact about Falconless in this game. So like we mentioned that it doesn't work, but it actually just doesn't work in the same way as TCS. So if Saber was to go back to Ripmore right now and do the deload, the trigger would be there because the Falcon is fully raised, but that is very, very slow because the killing of the enemies is like the shortest part.
Right. Okay, but he is going to finish this this level off. I mean, he's only 10 seconds behind his PB.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But anyway, Rapho having a better DSE, I would say. The
yeah,
mistake
definitely.
that Saber made was just that he was too high here, so he got stuck in the doors, which is it happens. But
Yeah,
Rapho is also really good at this
princess.
level, so I'm not super surprised.
As you say that.
Yeah. Uh, Princess, I believe, is it's pretty much just a movement level. I mean,
Yeah, mouse droid
yeah,
movement.
mouse droid, and yeah, just kind of cruise along. Although this first room, we're not going to see them do the typical princess out of bounds that you would see in 90%. They're actually going to get out of bounds on the left side of this door here with a slam clip.
Almost popped in bounds, but
Yeah. And they're going to use the left side path here. It's just a little bit faster. You can actually use the right side as well because, of course, we're in free play. We can pretty much do whatever we want in this game. But and he will need to destroy those not destroy those boxes, but get through those boxes with Yoda, I should say, because Yoda is just smaller than everyone else, so he can just go through small gaps like that. All right, and we're in the end room here. Double Ghost Yoda to avoid those aggros. Wow, that was really, really nicely executed, actually. This end room is a little bit more tricky than it looks, just because the 1P2C in this area is kind of weird. But that was actually a solid princess. And now we come up on Spaceport. Rapho is trailing by, I would say, a minute and a half, but I don't think he would be super upset about that, given the fact that Saber could literally still PV, I think. So
yeah, sorry. I was gone for a little bit because there's like a very huge storm outside my window, so I had
oh
to
yeah, no
close
problem, no problem.
close some stuff. But yeah, looks like it's been pretty much the same with the delta between the runners.
Yeah, slightly better DSC, obviously, and then the start of Princess was okay for Rapho, but I would say that Saber's Princess was decent. So Saber is going to take the land speeder into the second room here, because they are going to do the Diagro, I believe. Uh, oh, is he not going to?
I
So
guess not.
Rapho will be going for it, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's faster.
it's definitely faster. It's
Well,
just kind of
okay, yeah,
difficult
I
with the
guess it.
camera.
Yeah, and also I think staying on the speeder is kind of annoying.
Mm-hmm. But
Also
yeah,
risky right in the transition.
in this level, they actually get one Pratt as an extra toggle character, which isn't as fast as Mouse Droid, but he is, I think, the same speed as
Yep,
Droidica.
same exact speed as Droidica, and he has the same air speed as ground speed, whereas Droidica, when he's in the air, is a lot slower.
Yeah,
So
he
a
also
nice
has a
enclave there.
small hit. Yeah, also has a small hitbox, which is not really useful. But
Well,
uh,
it is useful in this
is
level
it?
specifically. You'll see, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, right. That I forgot about that.
Yeah, in free play only, of course, but nice angle there for Saber, actually. Oh, but he's going to use R2. Yeah, so R2,
Mhm.
Yoda, and Womprat can all enter that door. Womprat, of course, being the fastest of those characters, but R2 being right next to C3PO on the character wheel. Okay, so we are going to see Rapho attempt a more difficult sort of set of strats in this level, basically like a full 1P2C almost. And we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Let's see if he gets the Diagro to save time here.
This is going to be faster for sure. So definitely making up a little bit of time here. Yeah, yeah. I'm actually surprised that Saber didn't go for that. And he's going to use the buttons, which is actually faster than the clip if you have both players dropped in already. Everything else from here should be around the same as what Saber did. Now, Saber in this level, again, it's a lot of walking, but you are going to be able to get a jump off of that, whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. It's like a ramp. I don't know.
Yeah, basically.
The collision is just there.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is one of my favorite skips in this game because I guess isn't it faster? Okay, I don't know why they wouldn't just do it from outside the thing, but anyway, the transition extends out, so you are able to do it from outside the sandcrawler. Also, okay, so yeah, Saber went for the safer version of that, where you walk into the door and then jump inside of the ramp. You can also upwarp directly into the elevator. Pretty solid Junlin so far, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this level also really movement based, similar
Yeah,
to kind of Dagobah.
he's going to
Going for the
delay that
left
triple jump.
side.
I'm actually not sure what
Ooh,
strat specifically he's going to go for here. Okay, yeah, that's well. It's good that he kept his composure there because that could have been very bad. uh, some, I think the thing is that like when your lightsaber's not out, it can make things a little awkward. He is going to go for the speeder clip though,
yeah,
using
this is
droid, I
a
believe.
very small optimization.
Wow, first try. It's
Yeah.
I don't know if it's harder or easier in this game, but I know it's like a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Droidica makes it pretty easy.
Yeah. We're actually seeing Rapho use Womp Rat for a lot of movement here in this level, which we didn't really see from Saber. Of course, they're
Yeah,
the same
again,
speed, but
doesn't matter.
yeah. Going up, I
Saber's
think
gone to
going
the
up.
last level.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize. I think going up a slope Womp Rat is faster than Droidica.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm hold on.
But yeah, Saber is entering the last level of the speedrun secret plans, so uh the time is gonna be in a couple of short minutes, like 2 minutes tops, I think. Uh so yeah,
I mean,
looks
I
like
don't. He's only
don't
10 seconds behind his PB still.
mm, yeah, I don't think Rapho can really catch up here.
No,
Uh
I mean, not with how lenient smoke skip is in this game. That's sort
yeah,
of the
that's true.
one disaster you're looking for. Oh, Rapho going for the
Ooh,
middle strat. That's
missing
I
fast
respect it.
quicksand.
It's hard though, yeah, and that's why he has Womp Rat still enabled. Actually, that makes sense. Okay, so Saber did get. Yeah, he's too far to the left. He's past the transition at this point, so he's got to come back down to the right. There we go.
Oh, that was yeah, that
Well, that will definitely kill any chance of PB that he had, but
mm-hmm.
it's still going to be a really good time if he can finish this off properly. So yeah, the strat here is
Oh,
pretty
yeah, this
finicky.
is a really difficult
You have to stand in the middle of the door. It does get a second try though, so nicely done.
it's kind of annoying because this is one of the most difficult levels and you need to play it as the last level
Mhm.
for it to be
It
optimal.
is actually very very difficult, yeah. And there's only one more clip in the level. That's going to be right at the end. What he's basically going to be able to do is there's two escape pods. There's three escape pods, but he's going to use the escape pod um, at the top of his screen. He's going to clip into that and he's going to use it to jump into the escape pod on the right of his screen and end the level. And you'll see that when he gets over there. But unfortunately, he can't actually skip this, so it's just going to be a wicked massacre.
Yeah, also
Good back up there.
the clip Zach mentioned looks really, really funny.
Yes, because he's going to have to mash jump. Oh my God, Saber.
That was a series of inputs.
All right. So he's going to have to open this hatch here with R2, and R2 will have to unlock the panel on the right hatch to end the level as well. All right, so he's going to use Droidica. Now he's going to mash jump, and he's going to jump into this hatch, and he is going to end the run with a 42-51. That
Yeah,
was very impressive. Wow.
that was
I mean,
really, really good.
great job to Saber. I'm not sure what his actual time was, but probably pretty close to that. And
Rapho just
honestly,
about to
Rapho's
finish
not
up.
even that far behind. Yeah,
Yeah, no.
this is a good performance from both of them. I mean, we saw it like Saber had some incredibly solid gameplay in episode 5,
Oh
and
yeah,
I think that helped a lot.
Saber sent his splits in the channel. Looks like he got a 42-52. So yeah, really, really impressive. That is, I
It
think that
looks like
beats third place.
think he could have gotten record into the last split.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, some difficulties with the Vader skip meltdown. But yeah, nicely done. Congratulations to Saber, and Rapho's going to come in and end the level here.
Yeah,
Great race. I mean,
both of these
less than a minute.
runs. Yeah, both of these runs 2 minutes within the world record, which is really, really good for a race, especially in this category, because this category, I feel like usually you reset quite a bit, but
Yeah, I mean, you
this was
start on Destiny.
yeah.
So great job, guys. I mean, that was awesome to watch. Really, really great gameplay all around. And I love this run. This is such a fun run. If you've never tried LSW2, this is a great place to start, because it's definitely easier than any percent. So yeah, I definitely encourage everyone to go check out the leaderboards and play this game if you thought that run was cool.
Yeah.
I guess that's all we got. I don't know if there's any donations or anything. Finally. All right. See you guys soon.